I assume that many of you know a little bit about the Department of Veteran Affairs. You may have a friend or relative that served in the military, or maybe they've shared their experiences with the VA, and maybe you've seen a story on the news over the past few years about the VA shortcomings. What I'm here to discuss is the history of the VA and how it has evolved over time. I myself am a veteran, and knowing all of what the VA encompasses still amazes me. The VA is much more than a hospital and the GI Bill. First, let me tell you about the veteran-specific services developed over time in the U.S. It all started with the Continental Congress of 1776. They were having issues getting soldiers to enlist. Difficult time, and they didn't have anything to entice them. So they said, hey, we'll give you a small pension if you enlist. This also was there in place to cut out desertion as well, because there were a lot of deserters during that time. There have been many different departments that have handled veterans services leading up to the VA that we currently know. According to VA History in Brief, the first federal institution to administer veterans benefits was the Bureau of Pensions in 1808. Up until then, it was just individual states and Congress itself paying out some pensions, and not many were getting paid. There was no real administration of these. They were then consolidated, these veterans programs, in 1921. The Veterans Bureau was established, and it took in the Bureau of War Risk Insurance, Public Health Service, and the Federal Board of Vocational Education. These bureaus took care of eligibility for medical and vocational rehabilitation, and there were two other programs outside of the Veterans Bureau: the Bureau of Pensions of the Interior Department and the National Homes for Disabled Volunteer Soldiers. President Hoover signed the executive order to create the actual Veterans Affairs on July 21st, 1930, to further consolidate the services. Here's a quick timeline here. And now I'll talk about what the VA does currently. They have medical, which is very important for me. I myself use this little guy right here to get in and get my medical taken care of. According to a VA History in Brief, veterans with service-connected disabilities, retirees, and veterans who served in combat zones receive benefits. And then on top of that, everybody knows about the GI Bill. There's a couple different ones. There's the Montgomery GI Bill, and the first version of the GI Bill was established in 1944. Not the Montgomery. There's actually been several different types, but the most common one is the Montgomery GI Bill, and that was 1944, and it's signed by President Franklin Roosevelt. Used to further veterans' education, and veterans like myself who served after 9/11, we use the post 9/11 GI Bill, and we received 36 months of education as well as housing allowance and book stipends. And another very important aspect of the VA is the vocational rehabilitation. Many soldiers and sailors, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, they come out and they need help getting jobs because they're just so used to the military life. And it's available for veterans who receive a discharge other than dishonorable. So as long as you don't get a dishonorable discharge, you're up for this. And then also veterans with a 10% or higher disability rating. It offers job placement, on-the-job training, college, and many other sources of employment training. And third, finally, this is the part that bugs me and bugs a lot of people now, is currently there are 24.3 and growing veterans. So this is causing a lot of issues. I'm going to bring up another visual for you. The growing numbers have created growing struggles. Now, with that many veterans, they haven't been able to keep up with the pace of new veterans needing different types of assistance, especially medical. One of the most recent developments has been the VA struggle to provide the quality medical services. And yet the VA is giving huge bonuses to those in charge. Now, according to the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, several VA executives and chiefs are receiving bonuses of $10,000 per year in spite of investigations into and maltreatment of veterans within medical facilities. And there was the Veterans Health Administration scandal of 2014, where nearly 300 veterans died while waiting for treatment. Now, this isn't saying that the VA is bad. It's just saying that we have a lot of things out there for the veterans, but just not enough resources to make it happen. So, in conclusion, we all know somebody who has served our military, and we probably had no idea that there was this many things available, and there's a lot more. I can't cover it in this small amount of time. But for 2016, there's $168.8 billion set aside in the budget just for the VA. So that tells you there's a lot of services out there. Now, the VA offers many services to our veterans, and as you can see, our nation has a long history of taking care of those who serve our country. So hopefully we can find a way to make it a little bit easier for them now. Thank you.